Hello, I think I'm live. Hello, hello, hello. I'm I'm a little bit early, so it's okay if nobody's here. But I'm still getting things set up, and I just wanted to make sure it was all working. So I know some people might not know that I'm live yet, but I was just trying to make sure things are working and things are okay. I'm gonna go to my own stream for a second. Okay, so I think I'm live. Okay. I'm gonna go check. Hello, hello. I'm gonna go check on my own stream to see if I'm actually live and if everything's actually working properly. So let's see. I hope I I hope it is working correctly. I think it is. Oh yay! Hello, hello. Okay. Okay. So give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second real quick, you guys. Hold on. I gotta make sure of some things real quick. Um, cause that wasn't supposed to do that. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I'm on. Hi, hi, hi. I'm excited. I'm glad that you guys can see me. Okay, I'm making sure I could hear myself and stuff. Okay. All right. We're not gonna start sprints until around 5:10. I know there's no one on right now, but I'm just making sure everything is working from my end. Um, I need to know how to. Um, where do I put? Hi, hello, hello, hello. Hi, Paige. Hi, hi, hi. Okay, I'm new to this, you guys. So, um, don't mind me if it's a little janky. I will get better as we continue. But let me know what you guys will be doing for these sprints today. Um, I have multiple books I can be reading. Hi, Sarah Kay. Hello, hello. So, tell me which books you guys will be reading, all the things. I need to know how to put my to chat on my thing, but I don't know how to yet. So my bad, you guys, if it's all over the place. King of Sloth by Anna Wong. Ooh, okay. So I started two books yesterday, and let me know if you guys can hear me well. But I started two books yesterday. I started Clown in a Cornfield and I started Blood Song. I'm halfway through this, so we know this stream will go for at least until I finish this book. Um, and I hope everything's working properly. I hope you guys can hear me well. I have a microphone. I have a camera. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, you guys. So I'm very happy to see you guys here. Hopefully I could do like one or two a month at least. I might switch back and forth between um YouTube and TikTok. I don't know yet though. I don't really know. Sometimes I wish that my desk was facing the other way because all the sunlight is behind me. But I hope it's working well. I hope it's working well. But I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys are here and I can see you guys. I actually have my phone. It's not on TikTok. So I can actually like look things up in the moment when we're talking to each other and stuff. I'm very happy about that. Let me move this back because I don't know how loud I am. I'm reading. What are you reading? I am reading A Storm of Swords, Game of Thrones book 3, and You Shouldn't Have Come Here. Oh, You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Genova Rose. Uh, I just got book 1 in Game of Thrones. I got it from Goodwill for like $1. So I have that on my TBR shelf over there. And I just got You Shouldn't Have Come Here as well from Goodwill for like $1 or two. So I hopefully will be reading those soon. But yeah, we won't start sprints until 5:10. And we'll be on for I don't know how long actually, but we'll be on for at least until I finish Clown in a Cornfield because I want to finish at least one of these books today. And Blood Song is very long. It's like 700 plus pages. I'm only 50 pages in. I just wanted to read 50 pages of each last night and see where it was going. So that's what I shall be reading today. I also need to know how to make sure I put my chat on my OBS, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna do it during the break, not during the break, but during the first sprint, so I can see you guys on my screen instead of having to look down because I'm on my iPad right now. But yeah, I'm very excited. This is my first ever live stream, so I'm very excited about that. As long as you guys can hear me well and see me partially well, I do wish that I had like a little ring light or something. But as long as you guys can see me decently, it all worked out, which is great. I know there's a little bit of a delay, so TikTok had a delay as well, but I don't know if it was just as big of a delay. I don't know, but this is interesting. I really like it. It's cool. It's a little janky. I want to have like overlays and stuff, but that's for a different time. So I'm very excited though. I'm very excited to start this. I might also be putting some stuff into my my spreadsheets, but yeah, very excited about this. Very happy about this. I have music and everything on this Pomodoro system. So which music you guys could pick which music you want. You see all these options. Tell me which one you guys like the best. Ambient music, classical music, deep focus, nature sounds, jazz music, lo-fi music, relaxing music. Which one would you guys like the best? Let me know. So I'll put that one in there as well. I'll click the certain one that you guys want. But yeah, that's the main thing. And then we're going to do 45 minutes with a 10-minute break, I believe. A 10-minute break each time. And we're going to do at least 3. So, I don't know. Lo-fi? Lo-fi, okay. Lo-fi mix. Okay. We're not starting yet, but tell me if you could hear it. That might have been way too loud for you guys, though. Hold on. Lo-fi, but we could try out different ones if we don't like it. Yeah, that is very true. We could try out different ones. Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself because I have it on speaker for myself as well. So hold on. still learning how to use this mic, so I'll be pressing buttons all over this mic. But yeah, we'll start at 5:10. That's in 3 minutes, and I'm gonna be listening to Clown in the Cornfield. I'm halfway through, and it's okay. It's not as scary as I wanted it to be. It does give off like Texas Chainsaw type of vibes, but honestly, the spooky stuff just started. So there's not much going on yet. The sound is fine. Okay, that's good. Um, maybe because I said I had. My husband's laughing at me because I said I'm about to read with my friends. He a hater. He is a hater. We are. We besties. Like, we're reading together. So that's all that matters. He better be glad his wife is, literate, well-rounded, loves to read. But also, your husband can join. He don't have to read. Like, a lot of people use these reading sprints for just like productivity in general. So like, you can use them for doing laundry, cleaning, getting some schoolwork done, some like job work done. I've done multiple things while doing reading sprints. Sometimes I'm not reading. Um, Sometimes I'm not in the mood to read, but I still want to give you guys a reading sprint, like on TikTok. So sometimes I was just like catching up on things. So you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want for these. And I'm just glad that people are here to get it. But remember, these will stay on my page. I made a playlist called Reading Sprints, I believe, on my page. So whenever you need a reading sprint and I'm not live, you'll have your own little section to go to where you can rewatch them and have a little couple things to do. So that's a good thing. And we're going to start in less than a minute. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited. So we shall start now. I'm going to mute myself and I'm going to start it. And I'll see you guys in 45 minutes.
away until she's
Get
gone.
up and go home, will you?
No, sir. I'm staying right here.
just get this started. I don't need another pointless story.
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. So, did you guys like that lo-fi music? I'm gonna switch it for next round. For the next sprint, I'll switch to something else. I think nature sounds, or ambient sound, and we'll just try something different each time until you guys know which ones you guys like the best, I guess. I found a way to put my chat on the side so I can see it while I'm in OBS now. I'm very quiet. Okay. Is this better? You read 40 pages of that sprint. That's good. I think I read around the same. I think I read around like 55-ish pages, I think. Can you tell me if I sound better or worse? Better or worse, everybody? Let me know if I'm louder or not. But yeah, I read a lot. We're in the middle of and if you're watching a slasher film and we're in the middle of the big, like, they're in the midst of all the slashing going on. We're in the middle of that. I think I just needed my microphone to be a little bit closer. That's why you guys couldn't hear me well. But yeah, I am on page 249, so I have less than 100 pages left. So probably like 2 sprints. But so we'll be on for at least 2 more sprints. I just wanted to get on here and finally do one because I feel like I've been saying I want to do YouTube live streams for so long and never did them. And it's because in 2024, I was buying all the pieces because I'm on a PC setup. I'm on a whole computer setup. I built this PC with a lot of help and determination and tears. So in January, I bought the final pieces of the PC to put it all together. And then I put it all together and... Oh my God, you're here from TikTok. Hello, Hannah. Let me know what you'll be reading. So I put the PC together in January and I was like, it's not working how it's supposed to. So I went to a tech lady and she was like, you put it together mainly correctly, but you need a new... You bought the wrong piece for this. And I was like, okay. So I returned the first piece, bought the new piece I was supposed to buy, gave it back to her to be like, okay, so you just do it, put it together, see how it works. She did it. She's like, boom, it works. It works. And I was like, okay. Brought it home. It still wasn't working. I brought it back to her. She said, they sold you a different piece, a dud piece, a wrong piece to this. And I was like, oh my goodness. But she was like, you have a warranty on it, right? So you'll be able to get another one for free. I said, yeah, I do have a warranty on it. So I got into contact with them. I was like, okay, I have a warranty on this item and it doesn't work properly, so I'm going to return it to you guys. They said, okay, you have to go through this long written process first. Like I had to like write a report and then send it to them, and it took them like 5 days to a week to get back to me on the report. Just the report. They don't even have the item yet. They haven't even said, okay, you can return it now. Then they finally said, okay, we understand your report. Now you can send us back the item, which, mind you, when I was calling them, their main base is in California. I live on the East Coast, so it's 9 a.m. for me. It's 6 a.m. for them. So they open at 9 a.m., which is noon here, which I was just like, okay. So they didn't get back to me in time. And then after that, they were like, okay, you can send it back finally. Give me the longest list possible of make sure it's in a box this big and this, and this, that. And I was like, oh my goodness. Then it took them another week after that to actually get it. Then it took them like another week after that to give me a new one. And then the time that they were supposed to give me a new one, they said it should be here between 4 and 6 p.m. through FedEx. It didn't come till almost 10 p.m. at night. From FedEx in a U-Haul truck. How does that make sense? How does that work? And then finally came. I got it. I gave it back to her because I said, I'm not even going to try no more. You put it in. You do it all correctly. It finally worked. And then she was like, you know you need an ether cable, right? And I said, huh? She said, you didn't build a Wi-Fi PC. You need to plug in the internet PC. And I was like, okay. So she was like, just bring your router, plug it into your router. My router is upstairs. This PC is downstairs. So I bought a little like thing to plug in where it's like it gives you Wi-Fi, but it's not stable. So that's why I didn't want to go live on it. So I was gonna go live on a laptop for the first time. It was gonna look like this, but just on a laptop. And that day, I was like last week or the week before, I had told you guys on TikTok, like, oh, I'm gonna go live. And then that day, the power went out. Not the power, but the internet went out. And it took 10 hours for it to come back. And that's 10 hours is extreme, like 8 hours to come back, something like that. And I was like, geez, I've been saying I was gonna go live on YouTube since January, and it's now April, because that's when I was going live. It was still April. And I was like, geez Louise. And then I finally got a router for my specific room. It's now plugged into my computer. So now I have internet galore and everything's working properly. This is the first stream, so it's not going to be like the most pretty, but I just wanted to be on here and to do something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And it'll be better over time and stuff, but I'm really happy that I got it regardless. And so yeah, I'm very happy about this. Very, very happy about this. I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm not the greatest at it though, so there's going to be some ups and downs during these streams. But I'm glad I see familiar faces from TikTok and things like that. I'm hoping to get y'all over here because I think some of y'all from TikTok just don't realize that I'm trying to go over here to do the live streams. And I might do some on here, some on TikTok. I really don't know for sure yet though. I don't know how I'll do it. So at least I know I'll have this one up here. So you guys can watch this one whenever you need some reading sprints or productivity sprints. But once or twice a month on here, at least, hopefully. So I think that's what I'm doing. Just doing the sprints, reading Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I want to read a Frederick Bachman so bad. I don't know where to start for him, though. Should I start with Beartown, Anxious People? What's the other one? Like A Long Walk Home or something like that? I've heard he's really good at writing. But I just don't know where to start with him. So we'll see about that. We'll see what I do, what I get up to. But I'm very excited for that. Um, but yeah, everything's working. We're gonna do at least 2 more sprints, at least. We listened to lo-fi music the first time, so which one? Because we're gonna do a whole bunch of different ones to see what we like the best. So which one do you guys want next? Ambient music, classical, deep focus, nature, jazz, or relaxing? And I'll choose one and we'll do that one. We'll do a different one every sprint or so. You're meeting him this month? You can't go wrong anywhere, but I love Beartown the most. Ooh. Jazz. Okay, jazz. Ow. You're meeting him? That's cool. That's very cool. I'm meeting 30 something authors in October. I'm going to a what is it called? I'm going to a Southern Hearts and Signed Kisses event, and I'm gonna pause there real quick. I'm going to an event, so I'm trying to read from every author before I go. So I have a YouTube series on my YouTube right now. It's called Southern Hearts and Signed Kisses, I think. And I'm trying to read all of those authors before I go, at least one book by them. And I've just released episode 3, so you guys should go check that out because I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But yeah. Yes, he's going on tour for his new book. Ooh, that releases this too. Ooh, okay. I'm at. Ooh, how did that go? Are y'all gonna go see the new? It's not. It's not gonna come out anytime soon. It's coming out in like 2 years, I think. But are you gonna see Children of Blood and Bone, the movie? Are you gonna go see it? Because here's the thing. I've read all 3 books. I own them. They're back there somewhere. I loved book 1 with all my heart. Book 2 was low-key a dumpster fire. And then book 3 was great, but she act like half of the stuff that happened in book 2 didn't happen because I think she saw that everybody did not like book 2. So she like half the characters that were in book 2 were in book 3. Like she didn't even talk about the stuff that was in book 2 in book 3. But book 3 was so good. I don't know. And everybody's upset about the casting right now. I don't know why specifically they're upset about the casting. But I loved book 1. And book 3 was really, 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 really good. Book 2 was a good book. But the reason it was bad is because like she destroyed all the characters. It's just like they weren't the same. And it's like you didn't have a plan for book 2, and we could tell immensely. You just like killed everybody off, you made everyone evil, you did all this stuff, and then book 3 came around and you act like none of that happened. So I don't know what to think. So I don't know how good the movie's gonna be. Is it gonna be multiple movies, like 3 movies, or is she gonna put it all in one? I don't think she would be able to do that. I liked book 3 as well. I liked book 3 a lot. It was really good. Like book 1 I gave 5 stars. Book 2 I gave like a 2 or 3 star at most. And then book 3 I gave 4 stars. It was really good. It just had not it felt like a completely different book from the series. Like she acted like half the stuff that happened in the series didn't happen. And I was just like, and I have a special edition of it. I got it from Books A Million. So it has sprayed edges for some reason. I don't know why. And her covers are beautiful. Each cover of the books got more beautiful. Like a dark-skinned black woman with white hair will always work. No matter what, it will always work. You know? So I'm just trying to like, I'm nervous to see it because of those reasons. Like, I've never been one of those people who's like, it's not like the movie. It's not like the book. Like I've never been one of those people. But for that series, I already had opinions about the book. So the thing is, a director can make a movie better than the book. In my opinion, they definitely can. So maybe that's what's going to happen. Now, if Ryan Coogler was making these books and making these movies, I'd be all up in there. Ryan Coogler could do no more. Like, if Ryan Coogler was like, this is going to be my next Black Panther, I'd be all up in there. Who's seen Sinners? We'll talk about that in the next break. But guys, I think I'm gonna go see it again. But right now we'll get into this, and I'm gonna change it to jazz, and then we'll talk after these 45 minutes are up. Just remind me. All right, happy sprinting, everyone. Hello, everyone. How was you guys' sprint? Let me know. How did it go for everyone? I have like 10 pages left of this book, so I'm very excited about that. So hopefully I can finish it. Well, obviously I can finish it in the next sprint, but I'm very close, and it's very good. I think I'm gonna give it around a 4 star. I'm really enjoying this. I do think it took a little bit too long of the book to get to the point. Not get to the point, but get to the slasher of it all. Like, this reminds me of Texas Chainsaw, um, Scream, in the sense that it's a slasher, but it reminds me more of Texas Chainsaw. And they're making a movie for this. I should check to see when it's coming out. But they're making a movie for Clown in the Cornfield. When is the movie producers and all the things gonna realize I don't want more book remakes? I don't want no more book adaptations. I'm like, oh, it's good. Did it already come out? Oh, it was at AMC. I'm reading My Heart is a Chainsaw, and I am confusion in a bad way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, it comes out in a couple of days. Clown in the Cornfield, it comes out in 7 days. It comes out in a week. Ooh. Is there anybody in it that I know? Mm, they already got the casting wrong. Just by looking, they already got the casting wrong. Because Janet was Asian and they made her white in the movie. And that was a big part of her thing. She was like, see, this is why people shouldn't make movies. Make book adaptations. Like, that was a big part of her, like, reasoning for things that she was doing. She wasn't the bad guy of the movie or anything, but like, I only know the person playing the main character because she's in Ginny and Georgia, but I don't know any of these other people. But it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. We're probably gonna do one more sprint, maybe two, but for sure at least one. Because I also have this book to read, so I might want to get like 50 pages more into it. I am only 50 pages exactly into it. So I might be reading more of that. Can you guys let me know if the music was too loud or too quiet? Let me know for that, please. Because I have my settings set so that you guys can hear it and then I can hear it on my end. And the one on my end is really well volumed, but I don't know about the one on your end. And also, we're going to switch the music again. Just so we could do it. We already did jazz and lo-fi. So pick another one of these. So ambient, classical, deep focus, nature sounds, or relaxing music. One of those. But yeah, I'm very excited to finish this book. And this book, I've been wanting to read it for a while, and I've been wanting to, because I also have book two, and I will read book two because I like this one a good bit. But maybe I'll wait till like actual spooky season for book two, so around October time. But I'm thinking if I wait around that time, um, the Libby holes might be a lot bigger because everybody wants to read it around spooky time. But this was a long wait, and it's May, so now I put it on hold in like March, April, I think, something like that. Deep Focus. That's the first one I saw, so we're gonna do Deep Focus. Okay. But yeah, I'm very excited to finish this, and what I realized is that with high fantasy, it takes a longer time for you to see the fantastical elements in said world because they're building a complex setting and world building. There's no fantastical elements. This just seems like a book, like a period piece book, like a book back in the day, like hundreds and hundreds of years ago back in the day, like when they start using swords and stuff. So there's no fantasy yet. Because I was looking to make sure I got the genre right. But this is supposedly fantasy, so I hope that it's good, you know? But yeah, very excited to finish this. And I'm also excited for dinner. I don't know what I'm having for dinner, but I'm also excited for dinner. I think I kind of want to make some homemade pizzas because we have the ingredients to make homemade pizza dough, and then we have shredded cheese and sauce. Those are the main ingredients you need, and like Italian seasoning maybe. But we don't have any like. Ooh, I think we have bell peppers. We might have some mushrooms. I could make that. Maybe it's a little late. We'll see how I feel. But we're gonna do at least one more sprint. One, maybe two, because I only have like 10 pages left, so I'll have like 40 more minutes at the next sprint. So I might just start reading Bloodsong. I might go take a break. I don't know. Let's change the color of this microphone. You guys can't see what because it's so bright, but the microphone is changing color. This one is a rainbow one, so it's just changing on its own. Maybe I'll keep it on that one. Let it change forever. But yeah, I'm very excited that I'm very excited that I did this, that I did the live stream. And one day there'll be many people, you know? I'm very excited about that. So, I'll probably do, I'm trying to think, how many sprints should I do? I don't know. Maybe two. I don't know. But we'll at least do one more, you know? I wouldn't bamboozle you guys like that. But I'm trying to read more of my physical TBR. Last month in April, I think I read 6 books from my physical TBR, and the rest were either Kindle, borrowed, or library. So, and I was trying to read around like 10 physical books a month. So basically, my bad. These two bookcases over here are all the read books. I also have one above here. So, but all of these are read books. And then starting on the second shelf, starting here down, is unread, and then the book cart is also unread. So I was trying to read at least 10 of those a month, and I don't know if I made that. I don't know if I did that in January or February. But I did do it in March. Didn't do it in April. I got to 6, which is not bad. I don't I don't want my TBR to be down to 0, but I think by the end of the year I could have it down to 100. That's not bad. So, plus along the way, I know I'm going to find things that aren't my style anymore, or I was excited about when I bought them, but I'm not excited about them anymore. So they'll be unhauled and listed on Pango. But because that happened, I'm unhauling books a lot more than I used to do. So that's a thing. So I'm just trying to read a little bit more and of my physical books. Because of that series on my YouTube channel, I've been reading a lot of Kindle books, but I'm gonna do the physicals too. It's time for our next sprint, you guys. I'll see you guys afterwards. Happy reading, everyone. was the last sprint of the evening. This is not as long as like my TikTok streams are, but I just want to get a good handle of. You might not even be able to hear me. I just want to get a good handle on streaming on YouTube. So I'm really glad that I did this, and I hope to do this again this month as well. So just look out for keep my notifications on. So you can look out for more reading sprints like this. Tell your friends if they love reading as well that I will be doing these reading sprints more often. I might go back and forth between TikTok and YouTube. I don't know for sure though what I'll do, but I'll go back and forth between the two most likely. I don't know. But I also create a playlist on YouTube called Reading Sprints. So if there's ever a time that you need some reading sprints, but I'm not on, that is where you go and you will find reading sprints. And one day in like a year, if you're watching like old sprints, hi, how are you? You'll be able to start from the beginning because this is my very first sprint, and I hope to keep this one on here forever, just as like a time stone type of thing. But yeah, I'm hungry. I'm hot. It's getting darker. You probably can't tell because it looks so bright, but it's getting darker, and it's time for me to go. But I had a great time. I finished Clown in the Cornfield. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I own book 2 as well, so I'll probably read that one sometime in the near future. So this is a good way to start May, reading a physical book that I own. That's great. And then I'm also reading another physical book that I own, Blood Song. So during this last sprint, I finished that one and I started this one. Oh, I continue because I already started it last night. But I read 39 pages because I'm on page 89 and I started at page 50 today. So it's quite a thick girly though. So I still have quite a ways to go. But that is now also in the middle of me reading. This is thick though. It's over 700 pages. So it's going to take me a minute. But I also plan on reading Goldfinch this month, which is the last book in the Raven Candy series. I also plan on reading maybe 1 or 2 books from my 25 to read in 2025. I only have 9 left, and some of them are available on Libby right now without me even being on hold for them. So I might do that. I might continue that, which is pretty good to be in May, and I only have 9 left. That's really good. But I did it smart. So if anybody's going to do this challenge for the future, I would recommend only doing books that you physically own. And that's what I did. And I only have 9 left. Some of them are very, like, challenging reads. Like, House of Leaves is one of them. And the other one is Priory of the Orange Tree. Those 2 are the most, those are thick tomes of books. They're also, like, House of Leaves is very confusing, I've heard, and it's a mind meld of things. So I'm very nervous to start that one, but I'm gonna have to start that one because I think that one's gonna take me like weeks to read. Like, I usually don't take weeks to read books. I think the longest a book has taken me to read is a week, and that was Brandon Sanderson. He took me like 6 or 7 days to read The Way of Kings, and then I read in around 6 or 7 days as well, Words of Radiance. But I feel like House of Leaves is going to take me a long time. And because there's like scripts and you're watching a documentary, there's some things that have like small print, some things are edited. It's weird and I like it, but I don't know how I'm gonna like it. Like, I like the concept. And I'm pretty sure it's also horror, which makes it even more interesting. So I don't know. I hope I like it. And Pride of the Orange Tree is just humongous. It's just a tome of a book. So it's going to take me a while to read that. But those are my thoughts right now on books. Um, I just released episode 3 of Southern Hearts and Signed Kisses, trying to read every author from that. So I'm probably going to start episode 4 this month as well. And I recommend you guys watching those. I really enjoyed making them and reading those books for the most part. Obviously, there's always a dud or two in the mix. And I think that's pretty much it. I thank everybody who came to this one and all the people who will watch this retrospectively. I hope you guys enjoyed. I plan to do more. And I'm just glad that I finally started on this adventure that I've been thinking about for literal years. It's never too late to start. So here I am starting. And I want to thank everybody for coming and everybody who participated in the chat. I'm very grateful. And I will see you guys next time. Hopefully quite soon, I would say. Bye, everyone. Have a great night, great evening, great morning whenever you're watching this. Goodbye.